Have you ever noticed that when the weather changes, or even when someone around you so much as sniffles, you seem to catch it faster than you used to? Maybe a small cold lingers longer than it should, or a simple cough turns into something that keeps you up at night for days. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. After 60, our bodies change in ways that can make us more vulnerable to illness, but the good news is, there's so much we can do to turn things around. And no, it doesn't require any fancy supplements or complicated routines. It starts right in your kitchen. You see, our immune system is like a little army working around the clock to protect us. But just like any army, it needs fuel, good, strong, nourishing fuel. As we age, this becomes even more important. The body doesn't absorb nutrients the same way it used to. Our metabolism slows down. And our defenses? Well, let's just say they appreciate a little extra help. That's where food comes in, not just any food, but the kind that's packed with the power to keep our immune system alert, strong, and ready for whatever comes our way. So, today we're going to talk about 5 simple foods that can do wonders for your immune system, especially after 60. These aren't strange or hard to find ingredients. They're everyday foods, comforting, nourishing, and delicious, that you can easily start adding to your meals. And trust me, by the time we finish, you might be looking at your plate in a whole new light. Let's start with something warm and familiar, chicken soup. But not just any chicken soup, the real, homemade kind, simmered slowly with bones, veggies, and herbs. There's a reason why our grandmothers always made chicken soup when someone was sick. It's not just a myth. Chicken, especially when cooked with the bones, releases nutrients like zinc, collagen, and amino acids that help support the immune system. The warm broth also soothes the throat, helps with hydration, and supports gut health, which, by the way, is where most of our immune cells live. If you've ever had that comforting feeling from a bowl of soup on a cold day, you're not imagining it. Your body actually responds to that nourishment. Add garlic, onion, and carrots to the pot, and you've got an immune-boosting trifecta. Garlic has antiviral and antibacterial properties, onion is rich in antioxidants, and carrots bring in beta-carotene, which the body turns into vitamin A, a key player in immune health. Now, let's talk about a fruit that's sweet, vibrant, and bursting with goodness, oranges. But here's the thing, not just oranges. Think berries, kiwi, grapefruit, even red bell peppers. These foods are all loaded with vitamin C, one of the most powerful antioxidants out there when it comes to supporting immune health. After 60, our skin gets thinner, our internal defenses slow down, and vitamin C becomes even more essential to help our white blood cells do their job, fighting off infections before they take hold. And here's a little tip. Instead of just drinking orange juice in the morning, try slicing up fresh fruit and adding it to your oatmeal or yogurt. That way, you get all the fiber, too, which helps keep your digestive system happy and your blood sugar stable. Remember, it's not about quick fixes or miracle cures. It's about building up your strength little by little, meal by meal. Speaking of strength, have you ever tried adding spinach or kale to your daily meals? Now, I know leafy greens might not be everyone's favorite. Some folks say they're bitter or hard to chew, but they are true powerhouses when it comes to immunity. Spinach, in particular, is rich in folate, iron, and vitamin E, all crucial for building strong blood cells and supporting your immune system. And kale? Packed with vitamin K, C, and even a bit of calcium to keep those bones strong. If raw salads aren't appealing, don't worry, you can cook these greens. Lightly sautéed with olive oil and a sprinkle of garlic, or stirred into soups and stews, they become much softer and easier to digest. Plus, cooking them just a bit can even help your body absorb certain nutrients better. Think of it as giving your body a gentle helping hand. Now, while we're on the topic of greens and nourishment, let me ask you, how often do you eat yogurt? Because your gut health plays a huge role in your immune system, especially after 60. Yogurt, especially the kind with live and active cultures, is full of probiotics, those friendly bacteria that help keep the balance in your digestive tract. A happy gut means better absorption of nutrients, less inflammation, and a stronger line of defense against the bugs that try to sneak in. But not all yogurts are created equal. Try to go for plain, unsweetened varieties. You can add a drizzle of honey, a handful of berries, or even a spoonful of chia seeds for extra nutrition. And if you're lactose intolerant or just not a fan of dairy, don't worry, there are some great non-dairy yogurts out there made from coconut or almond milk, and many of them also contain those good bacteria your body needs. What I love about yogurt is how versatile it is. You can have it for breakfast, as a snack, or even as a light dessert. And every spoonful is doing something good for your body. It's the kind of food that feels like a treat but acts like a medicine. Isn't it the best kind? So far, we've talked about some of the most comforting, delicious, and nourishing foods out there, and how they can quietly but powerfully help you stay well, stay strong, and enjoy life with more energy and fewer sick days. But we're not stopping here. There are still a couple more foods you'll definitely want to know about. Another food that might surprise you with its immune-boosting power is something small, crunchy, and often overlooked: almonds. Yes, almonds. These tiny nuts are absolutely packed with vitamin E, which plays a key role in supporting your immune system, especially as you age. You see, vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, which means it works deep within your cells to protect them from damage. And because almonds are naturally full of healthy fats, that vitamin E gets absorbed beautifully into your body. Just a small handful a day, about 20 to 25 almonds, is enough to give your body the support it needs. And it's not just the vitamin E, almonds also have magnesium and protein, which help with muscle strength and energy levels. I always say, if you can carry a little Ziploc bag of almonds in your purse or keep a jar in the kitchen, you've got a ready-made snack that fuels your body and protects your health. If you find plain almonds a bit boring, try roasting them lightly in the oven with a touch of cinnamon, or even tossing them into your morning oatmeal or a salad. You could also spread a spoonful of almond butter on whole grain toast or apple slices for a delicious, balanced snack. What matters most is making it easy and enjoyable, because healthy habits stick better when they feel good, not like a chore. Now, I know we've covered quite a few tasty options already, but there's one more that deserves a spotlight, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now: green tea. Yes, your afternoon cup of tea might be doing more for your health than you realized. Green tea is full of a natural compound called catechins, which have been shown to boost immune function and help fight off viruses and bacteria. It also has just enough caffeine to give you a gentle lift in energy without making you jittery or keeping you up at night. But perhaps my favorite thing about green tea is how calming it can be. Life after 60 can still be busy, filled with family, responsibilities, and sometimes even stress. That quiet moment in the afternoon when you sit down with a warm cup of tea, it's not just good for your body, it's a little gift for your soul. And that mental relaxation? It matters for your immune system, too. Chronic stress can wear down your defenses over time, so finding ways to pause and unwind is just as important as what's on your plate. To make your tea even more powerful, try adding a slice of fresh ginger or a squeeze of lemon. Ginger has anti-inflammatory properties, and lemon adds a boost of vitamin C, not to mention a refreshing zing that wakes up your senses. Some people even stir in a teaspoon of honey, which can soothe the throat and add a touch of natural sweetness. It's such a simple ritual, but it nourishes on so many levels. Now, before we go any further, let me say this: none of these foods are magic. They won't prevent every illness or stop time in its tracks. But what they can do is help your body do what it was designed to do: heal, repair, and protect. And when you consistently nourish your body with real, whole foods like these, you begin to feel stronger. Your energy lasts longer. Your skin glows a bit more. And when you do catch a bug, your body can bounce back faster. It's a bit like tending to a garden. If you water it regularly, give it sunlight, and feed it well, it thrives. But if you ignore it or feed it junk, things start to wither. Our bodies work the same way, especially as we get older. Every meal is a chance to plant a seed of wellness, and the beauty is, it's never too late to start. And here's something else I want you to remember: eating well isn't about restriction or going on some extreme diet. It's about adding more of the good stuff. More colors, more variety, more flavor. That's why I love talking about foods to include, rather than what to cut out. Because let's be honest, after 60, we've earned the right to enjoy our meals, haven't we? I've spoken to so many people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who tell me, I want to feel good without giving up the joy of eating. And my answer is always the same: you can. You absolutely can. When you choose the right foods, ones that taste good and do good, you're not sacrificing anything. You're investing in more energy for your grandkids, fewer days stuck in bed with a cold, and more moments truly enjoyed. And don't worry if you're not perfect every day. Life happens. We travel, we go out to eat, we celebrate birthdays and holidays. That's part of living fully. What matters is what you do most of the time, not once in a while. If most of your meals are filled with whole, immune-loving foods, your body will thank you. So whether you start by adding an extra serving of fruit to your breakfast, or brewing a cup of green tea instead of your usual soda, just take one small step. Then another. Because it's the small steps, done with love and consistency, that build lasting strength. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Maybe your spouse wants to join you, or your neighbor down the street who also wants to feel better this year. Maybe your grandkids will be curious and try some of these foods with you. That can turn this whole journey into something joyful, something shared. When you nourish yourself, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. That sparkle in your eyes, that spring in your step, that comfort in knowing you're taking care of yourself from the inside out, that's the real reward. One more food I want to share with you. It's humble, affordable, and probably already sitting in your pantry. And yet, it's one of the most powerful immune-supporting ingredients around. I'm talking about beans. Yes, beans. Black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans, lentils, they may not look fancy, but they're full of plant-based protein, iron, zinc, and fiber. All of which your immune system needs, especially as you age. Now, I know beans might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about staying healthy, but hear me out. They're a slow-digesting carbohydrate, which means they give you long-lasting energy without spiking your blood sugar. And that's important, because when your blood sugar swings too high or too low, it can stress your body and weaken your immune system over time. Beans are also loaded with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. And we know that inflammation is at the root of so many illnesses, everything from joint pain to heart disease to fatigue. Eating beans regularly can help reduce that internal inflammation, keeping your immune system calm, focused, and ready to do its job. And you can enjoy them in so many ways. Stir them into soups and stews. Blend them into a creamy hummus with lemon and garlic. Add them to salads, or even toss a handful into scrambled eggs for a protein-packed breakfast. If you're worried about digestion, because let's face it, beans have a bit of a reputation, just start with small amounts and make sure to rinse canned beans well. Your body will adjust, and the benefits are absolutely worth it. You don't have to make dramatic changes overnight. In fact, I often tell people, think of your health like a big, cozy quilt. Every healthy choice you make is like stitching in another patch. One bowl of soup here, a cup of green tea there, a small handful of almonds, a few berries on your cereal. Bit by bit, you're sewing together a beautiful blanket of protection, one that can help carry you through the seasons, stronger, steadier, and more energized. And yes, there will still be days when you feel tired or catch a cold. That's part of life. But when you nourish your body consistently with these simple, powerful foods, you'll notice a difference. You may find you bounce back faster. You sleep better. You have more stamina when playing with the grandkids or working in the garden. You might even find your mood lifting, because feeling good physically tends to brighten everything else too. Now, let's take a breath and look at the big picture. After 60, your body deserves more care, not less. This is a season of life to be celebrated, not feared. And food can be one of the most loving ways to take care of yourself. You've spent a lifetime giving to others, raising families, building careers, supporting friends and communities. This chapter, it can be about giving back to yourself, nourishing yourself, strengthening yourself. And what I love about this approach is how doable it is. You don't need to count calories or follow complicated rules. You don't have to buy expensive supplements or hunt for rare superfoods. Everything we've talked about today, chicken, leafy greens, yogurt, citrus fruits, green tea, almonds, beans, these are everyday ingredients. Accessible, affordable, and delicious. The key is consistency. Make them a regular part of your routine. Maybe Mondays are soup night. Maybe you enjoy a cup of green tea with your book each afternoon. Maybe you start sprinkling chopped nuts and fruit on your breakfast instead of reaching for sugary cereal. These are small shifts, but over time, they add up. They transform. And I want to leave you with this: you are not too old to feel better. You are not too late to make a change. You are not stuck with low energy, constant colds, or that sense of just dragging through the day. Your body still listens. It still responds. And it still has the power to heal and strengthen when you give it what it needs. So why not start today? Not because you have to, but because you deserve to. You deserve to feel good when you wake up. You deserve to enjoy your meals knowing they're supporting your health. You deserve to walk into every season, winter, spring, summer, or fall, feeling like your best self. And here's something really beautiful: when you take care of yourself, the people around you notice. Your kids, your grandkids, your friends, they see your energy, your glow, your smile. And they feel inspired. You're not just improving your own life, you're setting an example of vitality and joy that echoes through your entire family. If any part of this message spoke to you today, I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments, what's one small change you're planning to make? Or maybe you already have a favorite immune-boosting recipe that's been passed down through the years. This space is a community, and your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this video helpful or encouraging, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like more content just like this: simple, heart-centered advice to help you live well at every age. Because you deserve that. Truly. Until next time, take care of yourself, eat well, and remember, health isn't just about avoiding illness, it's about embracing life. Fully, joyfully, and with all the strength your beautiful body still has to offer. Here's to living your best life at any age.